Hi guys, Charlie Tango 1 here. Just thought I'd run up another little video. These videos have been done before. I've watched various methods, and so I thought, well, why not? I'll have a go and just do it a little bit different to the other ones. Now, what I've decided to do is you've got. It's for storing stuff in the straws that you know, you have soft drinks with. But I've found some straws a bit different. Instead of the standard excuse me, straw, which is not much thicker than one of these really. This is some little reed floats that I make, you know. So you know, but that's basically all they are. That keeps me busy as well. But if you go down to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you will see they do these ones, and they are a lot bigger. All in all, they're about, let me just measure one, they're about ½ inch. Move it across so you can see. They're about ½ inch across. There we go. So what I decided to do is I decided to cut these up. So I'll cut them up in three. This one I cut up in half, but I've cut them up in three. And it's for if you're having problems lighting your fire. It's wet wood and such. So I've got 3 tins here that I done, but I'm thinking really they're quite bulky. They're only sweet tin, and I put some cotton wool balls in there. Just cotton wool ball. Soak it with a little bit of coconut oil. Very good. You can use it for cooking, you can use it for all things. You can use it for putting on sores, this sort of stuff, on your hair, itchiness, rashes, stuff like that. You can cook with it, and I have cooked with it, and it's a lovely drop of stuff. And you can get them from, well, any store really. I think I've got one over here. Let me just stretch out and see if I can get hold of it. Which one's this? Here's one I've got here. That's the one I've got, and it's quite a nice. Get it open. Just an ordinary white. It looks very similar to Vaseline. Anyway, that's that. So I thought, well, yeah, and everyone else uses the old cotton wool soaked in, you know, Vaseline, what have you, of which I've got 2 tubs there. Wax chippings. If you've got any chippings, what I done was solid, don't do nothing, don't come out. But if you've got some chippings in there, scrapings off of wood, anything like that, what I done was I just put them all in there, got hold of a nice scented candle. This one's lavender, because I love a lavender smell. Just soaked it in there, just heated up the old wax and just poured it in there and soaked it in there. It'll come out in a solid lump. You've only got to put your knife into it, cut it, you know, a piece off where you want. Put that in with your kindling or your little fire sticks, or your little shavings that you're doing. Put a light to that and she'll go like a good one. You can also get, if you want, one of these. You can get these on the internet. Dear little thing, not a ferrous rod. They're the stuff you scrape off. I forgot the name of it now. They use China make them with a little ferrous rod along the side of it, It's a silvery, I forgot, don't know if you can see that. Let's try and get it in there. There it is there. And you scrape that, excuse me, you scrape that onto your fire or whatever it is, your kindling or whatever, and it helps it ignite better, like, you know. I've never used it, so I've never tried it yet, but I thought, well, it's there. Again, if it's wet or something like that, it'll make it easier for the ferrous rod to pick that up, ignite that, which helps it to ignite your kindling and your feather sticks and what have you. And all you need really for this is a lighter, your straws of your choice, but as I said, you go Kentucky Fried Chicken, they do these ice cold, it's like a milk drink but semi-frozen. I don't know what they call them anyway, but they are tasty. So I went down there this morning actually on my way to pick my grandson up, and I went in there and I scrounged 4 or 5 tubes off of them, no problem at all, they just came them. So all in a pair of scissors, you'll need a pair of scissors just to cut them, or a knife will do. But another little thing that's handy to use if you're having a job lighting a fire, these. Try a bit of that Brasso pad. Good stuff. Come in a tin like that. Alright, Brasso. Brilliant stuff for cleaning. Comes in a flat form, like that. You can cut off however much you want, which I'll probably have a go at doing in a minute. And you can put them in the straw, piece of that in the straw, take that out, put that amongst your feather sticks or whatever, that will ignite straight away just like cotton wool bud. Very, very quick at igniting. And as I'm a shooting man, I've saved a couple of cartridge cases. This is the bottom end of them, you know, near the breech. Done the same again, and I've coloured the top end purple, the used primer, so that I know which is top and bottom. I've also got 2 here that I've made at longer lengths, which I'm going to be giving to my mate, and that's just a different colour cartridge case, but it's the same thing. And basically all it is you take the cap out of one like that, so you're just left with the brass piece, and you leave this one complete, but you just cut off the length however long you want it. With that one I've got these little tiny bottles, can't you see that properly because of the hand, little tiny bottles there. They've got a dear little cork in them, and what I've done with them is, now what I put in that one is some of this. Now I'll leave it stood there for a minute so you can pause the camera if you want to get to write the name down. There it is there. Potassium permanganate. Okay. Buy it online if you want, and you can get this from a chemist or anywhere. There it is there. Okay, that's what you're buying, that bit there, Listerine, for sore throats and this, that and the other, and how to use the medicine, soothes sore throats and chapped skin. Now, if you put a little pile of this in with your kindling, or on a little birch bark, piece of birch bark so big, and then you pour a bit of that on, and it will self-ignite. So just wait, you know, about half a minute, or it might go straight away. But that does fire up straight away. That is brilliant stuff there to get a fire going. Helps you if it's a wet, miserable day and you're having a job to get hold of any dry kindling. Just my little ideas that I thought might be useful for someone out there that's having a bit of a problem. Because if we don't pass it on, they never know. You can make various things, various little bottles you can hold the stuff in. I just made a little bottle there. And I'll tell you what that was. That was a little bottle that you use for a vapour. When you know the cigarette thing that you're trying to pack up fags, it's a liquid and it vaporises. I use that. That holds this because you want something to keep that watertight. The other one is like, to look at it, it looks like gunpowder. That's what it looks like. And these straws, you cut them off. I've done 3 in a row, and you just cut the ends, pinch it. I'll show you how to do it actually, just so that we can. What can we put in there now? I'll bring the camera down to the bench so that we can see what we're doing. I think we can see what we're doing there, can't we? Move that out of the way for a minute. Right, now what I think I can do is I will cut Brasso. I'll do a bit of Brasso. I won't do the potassium permanganate and that because it takes a bit to get that out. But first thing you do, you get a bit of Brasso. I'm going to use this one because it's got plenty on it, so I think I'm going to use that and poke that in there like so. Now you get hold of one of these. I'm going to start from scratch so that we know. They're in short, right, cut that. I've cut that in half, that one. Okay, along with that one. Then we get our flat pliers. Now what I've done is I've done it that way so you can write on this piece here flat, otherwise it's just going to keep turning. Pinch it in the pliers, just that little bit of a gap there, like that. Just take it, you can see. And what we do is, come on, I just burn that and you'll find it melts back to the pliers actually. As soon as it does that, I just bring the pliers forward, release them and then pinch them up again, like that. Let go. That's airtight, that is. Right, that's that one done. Simple as that. And you get this, and I twist it. You can cut off. You can cut off a dear little slither, only about so wide. Cut a dear little piece off like that. You don't need much. And so I've used this just to polish something once, but as you can see, it's wet that paper already. So there's plenty of moisture in that little pad there. I just corkscrew it down in there. Give it a little bradawl, push it down, there we go. Simple as that. Done. Now it doesn't really matter how you get it out, whether you want to salvage this tube so you can use it again, which is very easy to do, because all you have to do is, if you're going to cut that end off to use it, assuming they're both sealed up, cut that end off, or if whatever you have in there, if you want to only use half of it, then cut it down a little bit like that, about 1/2 inch, and then use what you want to use in there. You can pinch this up, pinch this over like that, and the piece you've cut off that end you can stick on there as a cap, and it'll seal it up, holds it together again, so you can use the other half at a later date. And then now what you do is, I use, as I say, same piece of flatness. You only want to adhere a little bit on there, but make sure that it's inside the end. You know, you don't want this end piece protruding out. You want to make sure it's in the jaws properly. Put the lighter on it. You can see it melt back. As I say, I use these as mate. Slide it forward just a tad and just pinch tight, and it welds it together. Yeah, done like that. All done. So I'll put that down there, I'll mark that up later. You can do this with various things. As I say, I've done it with a Brasso and just used permanent marker pen, or as my friends over in the US say, a Sharpie. Use different words to us, and of course it does confuse us a little bit. There's one I've done earlier, potassium, wrote on there, and the other one, the glycerin. So but them two are brilliant if you want. But if you use that glycerin in this size, which is about 2 inches long, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's about 2 inches long. I'll be inclined to hold it up when you cut it with your knife or something, or against the side of a log, and use all of that onto your powder. Then you will definitely get a good burn. It's better than carrying this around, and better than carrying that around. And the reason I've put them in these little tubes is because it's better than carrying these things around. Smaller, so you can get more things that you need or may need in your little Kinder bag. This is what I made earlier, as I say, because I'm in the leather business. I made one there, but I'm not going to be using that. What I'm going to be doing is another one I've turned over to. Well, two of them. Excuse me while I'm out of the picture. Is I decided to make a couple of these. So I don't know if you can see them. I decided to make a couple of them. There's one there. It's got a what's name on dongle, or you can fit it on the back of your belt if you want. That's the one I used. I made 3 of them in fact, and my friend's got one. Let him choose. This is another one I made. You know, I quite like them, but time consuming. But I had some odd leather left, some soft stuff, and some good oh god, I keep forgetting now, harness leather. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll make a couple of them. This is what I've done. So excuse me while I'm just hanging them back up. And that's Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That's done those. Put that back up there. And these little things, as I say, if you want to, what have I done in that one? I can't remember what I've done in that one now. See, I put the old potassium permanganate in that one, and it pinches down at the last bit, and I've got one of those dear little bottles in this one. You can get, I didn't put it in there, where is it? Oh, it's in the other one. But those little bottles you can put in there, but because they've got a little cork on, I've been tongue tied here, I've been inclined to use a little bit of a poly bag, any little poly bag, just to cover the little cork that it has, and push that in there, because if that gets turned sideways you don't want it leaking out the cork, which I did find out when I put it in one of these. This is it, isn't it? There we go. That's the potassium permanganate. Put it in this one, and what happened was when I opened my kindling bag, I got this nice pleasant smell, but this had been leaking, this little bottle. So what I've done is, you can see the dear little cork that's in there. I've got some polythene, and I literally had it like that, and I put the bottle in the polythene, then pushed it into the bottle, then popped it in there. And as I say, I've turned it on its side and everything, and it seems to be holding its own now. So that solved that little problem. Oh, these little bottles are handy. You can get these from a bit of meth there and a bit of stove fuel. This stuff, if you can see it. Oh no, it's Coleman's fuel. If you don't want a big bottle, you know, because I was taking something like this. You know, well, if you don't want a big bottle, these little ones are brilliant. They come in a little pack like this in the pound store, something like that. Brilliant little thing they are. You know, they do the job. You've got a spray one, you've got one to push down and compress. Just little things that you pick up on the way. And as I say, I found it very helpful, so I thought I'd potter about and knock some of these up. You can do them, as I say, cut them in half, and put whatever you want in there. You can put fuel in it. I have got this fuel, this stuff, glycerin. I have got that in these tubes as well, as you can see. But you can do them in this size tube. It doesn't matter. But if you half use it, I wouldn't be inclined to half use it. Not the glycerin. I'd use the whole lot. But in that case, you'd need all the potassium permanganate from that tube as well. As I say, once they're mixed together, you just put it in a little pile and just pour the glycerin on top of the pile and just stand back, and you watch it about a quarter of a minute or something, and suddenly woof, away it go, and it does go bright. So you want it on some kindling that you want to ignite as well. And that's it, away you go. Put your feather sticks on there, or your little tiny sticks, and but as I say, it's mainly if it's wet or something. It just helps it to take a lot easier. I've been rabbiting on there. I don't know if that's helped you people or not. Oh, sorry, let's bring the camera up a bit. Don't know if it's helped you people or not, but I find you know, once I've gone from these little things, and let's bring the camera down a bit. Bear with me, just get them up. I'll bring it back down again. Bear with me. I've gone from these little things, these 3 of them, down to these little things, which still do a night out, and your little tubes as well, 3 of those, which is a lot smaller than 3 of them, isn't it? You know, and it's taking up room, and it's weightier, but you can always come back and you can always add to those. You can add to those however much you want, or just top them up when you come back, and then you take out the same amount again without they all seem to be hell bent on cutting down on weight, but as I said to a friend of mine, Bush, I forgot his name now, Robert, he's joined me. I sent him some little leather washers along over in the US, because he's one of these little stoves that he's got. Let's open that up so you can see. One of these little stoves that he got was leaking, and it was leaking out of this valve here. So what I've done is I'll send him over half a dozen little washers, leather washers, He has got them. He's got it up and going. He's made a video of it, and oh, it's brilliant. It's really, I call them a helicopter stove, because they sound like a helicopter when they're going, like one of those Chinooks, you know, which is great. And if it's running like that, you know it's running right. And I tried to turn this down low the other day, and as low as I kept getting it, it's still, because I was melting down some beeswax and what have you, which is another product I was doing. I'm trying to think what it was I was doing now, but I kept turning the stove down, and it kept gradually creeping up, still roaring away like a good. And I thought, well, if I turn it much lower, it's going to go out. But it just goes to show how low you can really get them to a nice little simmer when you're cooking, which I think is good. So this being the oldest stove, I think I'll wear that one out first. So I've got 3 of them, and I've got 3 of the Sphere 1, 2, 3s. I've got 3 of them, like, you know. But I just like keeping busy, you know. I've cleaned them up, completely refurbished them, and cleaned them right up, and tested them. They work fine, so that's it. That's just something else that I've done, and then I start looking for something else to do, and this is the last thing I started to do. I have ordered, because I saw this on eBay the other day, not on eBay, on YouTube. This stuff here, not necessarily this particular one, but this stuff here, I get this at my local B&Q store, which I think you would be, in the States would be something like Harbour Freight or Walmart, places like that. Basically it's a blowtorch. You screw the blowtorch on here, open it up and away you go. Well, when they run out, they're a lot cheaper than what the big round low camping stove is, the proper camping gas, which is half and half, propane and the other one. Oh, God, yeah, names keep going now. Anyway, so if you do a mixture, it works better than just propane or just the other one. But the red bottle, all I know is the red bottles, they withstand a lower temperature than the blue propane ones. So by mixing them, you can still operate your stove without it being a bit of a pig to do or to light. So I've ordered something, I think it's coming from China or Japan. It's an upgrade of and what it is, it's a female coupling where it goes in there, and the size of it, I suppose, it can't be much bigger than one of these. Very, very small. And it's got a valve on it, very similar to the little little gas legs that you screw onto your camping stove. Screw that on, and it's got a wire thing that to undo your valve and shut it off. It looks exactly like that, and but it's got a female either end, so you can screw it onto that bottle there, put it onto your camping bottle. That will be upside down like that. Turn the valve open, and it puts that into there. But make sure that you only put in the same amount as what the camping bottle holds. I think it's 300, we'll say 340 grams. You only want to bring that back up to 340 grams. Don't put any more, because what happens is you need expansion in the bottle, in the canister. If you fill it right to the top, you've got no expansion, and it will